As a holder of Ripple, how do you feel? What Ripple has done, in a way, it has signaled that feminism and the Me Too movement needs to be checked. I think they're cannibalistic. I think they're destroying themselves because they're no great players after LeBron. They are spoiled brats that get multi-million-dollar contracts and they don't know what to do with it. At least Zion doing the right thing. He trying to smash in bigger gals. How do you find cocaine in the West Wing and you do nothing?
Who was surprised that cocaine is in the White House? Me personally, I thought that was a normal occurrence.
Is the meme coin season over? Is it done?
Oh, man. I don't think so,
Why?
3, 2, 1. Let's go!
This is a brand new episode of the Full Gambit podcast. And if you're a fan of the podcast and the show, the YouTube show, you'll notice something very, very, very new. We are filming in a brand new studio. We're here at Frame Studios. This is going to be our new home. Very comfortable, very chic.
Yeah, definitely.
Very professional setup. I got a shout out to my boy Manny, master producer, evil mastermind.
Listen, I love this.
Protege, maybe. I don't know.
Protege.
He's a cis lord. I don't know. But got my glass.
Those.
We toasting? What we toasting to?
I don't know.
To Ripple?
Yeah, success, Ripple,
Yeah. Before we toast and sip,
I want to hear this. Oh, yeah.
I owe you an apology.
Oh, yeah.
All right? I said it. I'm
this
sorry.
whole week, I was just waiting for this. It's like...
You serious? You was waiting the whole week? The whole week.
When I saw a jump up, I was like, oh, yes, I got to go at Jay. Because Jay told me, it wasn't going nowhere. And it's like, oh, yes.
And Nick, if you remember that particular episode, please play it back where I told him to pretty much sell his buy because Ripple is useless because of Fed now. The case was dragging on too long, even though Gary Gensler is a fool. He's probably going to stumble into this win.
No comment.
But the opposite happened. Finally, after years and years and promises that we're going to get a verdict or some resolution, finally a judge with common sense said that the retail side of things, the sales, that's not a security. It was another aspect of it. They said they went down the list.
Yeah.
There are several things that were not a security. The only thing that they had a little tick next to a flag, per se, was the institutional sales.
Yeah.
And I could get with it. But it only opened them up for resolution and settlement as opposed to a huge fine shutdown. So the judge said, listen, guys, take 3 days. The most convenient 3 consecutive days. Let's be cordial. Let's work on things.
Yeah.
And you come up with the resolution. As a holder of Ripple, how do you feel?
I feel good. Because Ripple wasn't something I wanted to invest in, like to get a quick flip. That's a company, that I plan to be invested in for the long haul. And even if they lost, I was like, okay, it's probably going to go up probably a few years down the road. I didn't know that what the price action would happen. I didn't know he's going to see that in the span of like days.
Of
like
course.
a day.
Come on. Listen,
Like
that has been trading sideways for years.
Yeah.
The minute any positive news, especially with that case, I expected it to surpass and maybe settle at the 1-2 range.
Yeah.
But I saw that quick retracement when it hit the 90 mark.
Yeah.
I was a bit upset, but I was like, okay.
And I sold some at that around that mark, like around the high 80s.
Oh, so you took some profits.
Yeah, I took some profit out,
Do you mind giving us a range? Like, give me a range of where you were. Like, what caused you to say, you know what? I could get something out of this right now.
To be honest with you, it was just that I wanted to buy something. And I was like, I might as well use the money I just made this week.
No, that's not about it. That's not about it.
So, yeah.
I wish more people would use their crypto earnings for something practical as opposed to reinvesting it into digital space.
Exactly.
The whole point of investing is to enjoy your money and have tangible things in the real world.
That's it. Like,
what was your entry point in Ripple?
My entry point, I want to say, I can't even remember. it'll be like around the 30s or 40s.
So, okay. So you pretty much was able to maybe 3x, like a 2.5x, maybe?
Like, yeah, like probably like a 2x.
That's in the day and age, that's not bad.
Because I invested a substantial amount of money. It wasn't just like $100. It was like, I'm not going to give you the number, but yeah.
Why is it that people always ask me what it is that I put in and I'm not ashamed?
Like I'm in.
Give me a range.
It was, like around like
a bond or two.
Yeah, a bond or two.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's not
me. Bad. I put certain bonds into meme coins, and I was able to.
You're trying to be a billionaire.
No, I'm not trying to be a billionaire off meme coins. What I'm trying to do is rent and flip my money.
Makes
like
sense.
I told Theo on a podcast, I missed the drug era. And I too pretty to go to jail. So if I could turn $1,000 into $10,000, if I could turn $2,000 to $3,000 into $50,000 and $20,000, why the hell not?
Yeah,
I was able to make a decent amount of money on Pepe and another meme coin, CAC. At its height, I was able to do some very comfortable things.
And the funny thing is, right, after I sold off some, I started thinking I didn't have time to do it this week, but I was like, how much other crypto companies are in lawsuits right now? And I'll probably be able to get some alpha based on the results of the lawsuit.
I don't think every other one is Ripple though. That's
true.
That's the only thing. I think certain people got caught in crosshairs and were actually doing some degenerate things.
Yeah.
I think Ripple was a threat to the status quo.
Definitely.
And it needed to be slowed down, similar to how the SEC tried to just go after everything crypto and they left Bitcoin alone, but everything else was under threat.
Yeah.
And now I think what Ripple has done in a way, while it didn't fully trigger a bull run, it has in a way signaled that cryptocurrency is one, here to stay.
Definitely.
Two, it's not a security. So there needs to be legitimate legislation to govern this new financial space.
Yeah.
And it's okay because now you see all these spot ETFs coming. BlackRock is coming in. They got, I think they got greenlit the other day with a few others. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, because I think they have like 6 ETFs approved.
And on the Federalist now. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Would I buy Ripple today? No.
You wouldn't buy it today?
No.
You think it's at its top or what?
I think it is what it is. I think maybe if I had like $100,000 right now, I probably would.
Yeah.
So I could 2x that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think it's going to go much beyond its all-time high. I think the innovation that it represented 3-4 years ago is here now.
Yeah.
They were able to slow it down, copy it, paste it, and implement it because now what Fed now is what Ripple was supposed to be.
But I'm hearing Ripple is working with Fed now indirectly. So I heard.
Of course they are.
Through a company called Volant. And they was like, it isn't, I mean, it's theories, right? But people was like, why is it a week before the launch of Fed now? Literally a week before the case, basically Ripple won the case.
Because it's the same thing with Bitcoin and I told Theo this, and I have to mention it because I kept telling him that Gary Ginsler was playing a very dangerous game. He was playing a political financial game with people that love money.
Yeah.
And the minute that they realized that they could make more money from adoption as opposed to fighting it, what do you think they were going to do?
That's it.
And at the end of the day, you've put yourself on the record so much so that you're opposed now to cryptocurrency. You're the new sheriff in this Wild West situation. And now there's no space for you.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. Because right now Wall Street is moving in heavy. Like when we was talking about what that was, EDX?
NASDAQ, everybody's moving in. So everybody's primed and ready. Bitcoin price action has been slowed,
Yeah.
manipulated, held down, because there's no way that the Fed was able to drastically raise the interest rates the way that they did.
Yeah.
Nothing really broke outside a couple of banks, right? And they were able to get, for the last two instances, inflation to drop a full point. So it went from 5 to 4, and now from 4 to 3. The target has always been 2. So they could either pause or say, hey, one more 25% and get a full to 2, and then they have the pause.
You know,
and like
I got
Jerome
on that, but yeah.
and Jerome has said, listen, just because we get to 2 doesn't mean we're going to automatically ease. So I think they're going to pause. They're going to allow things to flow for a while, and then they're going to turn that money printer back on. And I need Swift. I know Fed now is the new animal in town, but I need Swift to get back on board, because the absence of Swift and the ease of getting money into crypto is causing it to stay where it's at.
That makes sense.
Because now people they hit me up all the time. Hey, Jay, let's get your money out of crypto, boy.
I hit you up that.
You did, but I mean, like every other day, you have to know these things. Either you have to have a very rich crypto buddy. Sometimes my boys have to, hey, I can send you some USDT.
Yeah, that happened to me.
And I need you to send XYZ to my account.
Yeah, I know about that.
Right? Or you need to know the services of the different exchanges that you use.
Yeah, the reason why I never really did it was because I always was a long-term holder in crypto. I never was like, okay, let me invest this week and take it out the next week. I was like, I didn't take it out for years. So
you try to get your money dusty.
So that's why I never really bothered me.
But my thing with money is this. Even though you don't take it out, you still should know.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be frantically trying to figure things out.
Oh, yeah.
When you need it. And then that's when you make stupid mistakes or you pay a high premium to cash out. So me, I had 3 simple ways. If I needed it right then and there, hey, rich buddy, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you this. Do you need me to send an extra just to cover this transaction? Oh, no, I can just do it for you face value. Great. Face clean? Great. Good. Or Binance was my buddy back then.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Send whatever liquidated money out to Binance and it was done.
Yeah.
Just like that. And they would send it to my Chase account and done. But now that Swift in mine and they blogging all of that, I was like, how?
I think it depends too, because a friend showed me how to do it, right? And what was weird was it worked for his account, but it didn't work for mine. I didn't know if it was an issue with verification or whatever.
But you should have a set of level 2 verification.
Yeah, I should. But when I did it on the exchange, when I got to the same page as him, his one had the option to take out. Mine's didn't. I was like, all right. So let me just send this to you so you can take it out from me. But
oh no, sometimes it's like this. Using it on your phone or using it on the desktop?
Desktop.
Okay, so when you go to this is before Swift or after Swift?
After.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't get that out.
Yeah,
you wouldn't. You would not have gotten that out. So that's where the peer-to-peer, and I put everybody on game. So I hope no one goes after this. But if you do want to get your money out and you don't want to do the long way that crypto.com has, because they have a very long process, and I don't even know the other processes from other exchanges because I don't fuck with them.
Yeah,
you need to get a Wise account. So verify that first. You go to Binance, you hit their peer-to-peer, you find someone reputable from your region that deals in Wise and whatever USDT, USDC, or BUSD. And you say, hey, I need X amount. I will send you they'll charge you a premium. Sometimes it's point something cents or whatever the case may be. They'll send it to you first. You verify that it's in your account. And if you're smart, when the money hits your Wise account, it should automatically go out to whatever account you want within the world, because now you're dealing with a bank account versus a bank account.
Yeah.
It's not a crypto exchange.
Yeah. You're dealing with institutions now.
So they don't even question it.
Yeah.
right? So once you know that, because if you just allow it to sit in your Wise account, here's how I know those little slick ricks could do something. When you hit that, you verify that it's in your Wise account, they could reverse it.
Oh.
So you have to set up your Wise account first to say, anytime US dollars, pound, sterling, or any other currency hits this account, I would like it automatically right away to be distributed to this account.
All right.
And that way, the minute the money hits, it goes, you get your verification, you see it, and then you can release it.
All right.
And then that's it. It's done. And if you do it within a certain amount of time, say you make a transaction at 9 o'clock in the morning, usually it's a 12-hour window, but because of how our banks are, by 2 o'clock, that's in your account. Who doing that?
That's true. That's true.
But don't let your money get dusty on crypto, buddy. Especially not on the exchange. And especially not on an exchange like Binance, because
I feel attacked.
No, seriously, right now, and this is not fought against Binance, CZ has enjoyed so much upswing. He's enjoyed the innovation of crypto, several bull runs, BTC just running his.
He's the Thanos of this shit. Like, he's the Thanos of crypto. Like,
he's not Thanos.
He's not no more, but
he is
Suge Knight.
Yes. And right now, the institutions are coming.
They killed Tupac.
And they don't want him.
Yeah.
They don't want him.
Yeah.
They want Brian, because it seems as BlackRock and a few others has chosen Coinbase to be their sponsor. And so I expect the Coinbase case with the SEC to disappear.
Yeah.
I expect that to...
He's going to play ball.
Vamos.
Yeah. He's going to play ball. But CZ, he is operating as like a nation state. So it's like...
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's going to... I think I give CZ 2 years.
2 years?
I hope he has... I give CZ and BNB 2 years, because BlackRock is not going to pump the type of money into crypto to allow CZ to enrich himself.
Yeah.
Whether you call it a matrix attack, whatever, if he was doing something schemy, he's going to get FTX'd.
Think so?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Binance will not be the one to usher in universal crypto adoption. It will be something else that is centrally controlled by the powers that be.
Yeah. The thing is with CZ, like you say, he was not a puppet for the government.
No.
And you got to understand, when you can't control something, in their case, it's best to get rid of it. So it's like, if we take the power away from this dude, because he is an incredibly powerful person in crypto. Like,
he is.
There was a point in time when it was just, Binance is losing market share.
They are.
But there was a point when they were the industry. And
in some cases, they still are. They can make and break your project.
Yeah, definitely. But like the thing is with crypto is, I always say this: if Sprite goes belly up tomorrow, Sprite or Coca-Cola, a lot of people aren't going to stop drinking soda. They're just going to find something else to drink.
Oh, definitely.
So it's like, what you'll notice, like with crypto, there was a time when Mt. Gox was the biggest exchange in the world.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But what I'm saying is, they completely like just disappeared. The industry moved on without them. And it's like, that's how I look at CZ. CZ's a player. When you look at any sports league, just because the players go on no means do stop playing. Like, we have new players who come along.
So from Kareem to Magic to Jordan to Kobe to Bron, I don't want to call anybody else after Bron, because I don't see any great players in the NBA after LeBron.
Yeah, you have a few guys who's doing their thing, but it isn't the one who is standing out here and shoulders up.
I don't want to say anybody after LeBron, because there are no great players after LeBron. Okay, they are spoiled brats that get multi-million-dollar contracts, and they don't know what to do with it.
Like Zion.
Like Zion. At least Zion doing the right thing. He trying to smash in bigger gals. This boy, Ja Morant, trying to be a gangster.
Yeah,
he
I know.
hustling
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
People is
he
hustle
wildin'.
to get out the hood.
Yeah, he
not to
wildin'.
make $200
He
million
wildin'.
and go back to the
He
hood.
was literally trying to be a stereotype. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. I just don't know what's wrong with him. But what is your overall projection now that you see Ripple, the settlement? What do you think will happen in the next few months with the crypto space as a whole and with Ripple as a whole?
All right. With Ripple, if they're working with Fed now on this thing, I could see some more value being there. Now, as far as
How much value?
Yeah, that's
Don't be vague. People like numbers. They like predictions.
I'm just gonna throw out a number. I'm gonna say $1.20. Why? You ask me? I don't know. I just say
So $1.20 from the current price right now at 77 cents.
Yeah.
That would be roughly a 0.5x.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who's put into ASU and thing, you put $1,000 into that.
Hey, that's ain't financial advice. I ain't telling you to buy it.
If you put $1,000 into that, you might walk away with $1,500 plus your initial investment.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. I don't have a Ripple bag. I don't have a dog in that race, but it is one of those blue chip tokens in the top 10
Yeah.
that has been there for a long time, and people have been waiting for this case to be done away with.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you starting to invest in Ripple for the first time, understand that investing $100 is not going to buy you a yacht. Ripple is at, like
What color is your Bugatti?
No, I don't have a Bugatti. My car's in the shop. That's the funny thing. But when you look at like blue chip, like he mentioned, this isn't a situation where you can invest $100 or $1,000 and you could afford a new house based on that initial investment. Ripple is not going to pump to that type of price point. You might make good, you might make enough money to go and take a vacation or buy a new car or whatever. But that isn't that type of flip.
It depends. Now, if you got drug money,
Oh Lord.
okay,
Oh Lord.
and you need to put it somewhere in some vehicle that they can confiscate like that, you could put it in Ripple.
So when you come out of jail, you're straight.
Exactly. That I don't deal with drug dealers. I can't invest it for you. I just letting you know. I mean, I just being real. I just letting you know. But on a serious note, like if you want those 10x's, 100x's, 1000x's, you have to play the degenerate game.
Yeah.
And the degenerate game is very nasty because you have rug pulls, you have honeypots, you have young people doing their own thing, getting these market caps of $1 million, 10 million, 50 million, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to lead, not knowing how to communicate, and a product could stall. And if you hold too long, you will lose.
I always like to use an analogy of sports, right? And I was like, when you're trying to get like those 1,000x, 10,000x, like when guys try to put $100 and get $1 million back, I also say, imagine it like this. Imagine you're going to a junior high basketball game and you're looking at the kids and you're trying to pick who's going to win an NBA ring. Not just who's going to make it to college and play D1 basketball, who's going to make it to the league, who's going to win a ring or who's going to be an all-star. Like a lot of those kids who play and who might be good now, some of them might stop growing. Some of them, they might decide, I'm not interested in basketball. Some might get injured. That's just the reality of it. You have guys who are doing good in the NBA who might have not been standouts in high school or junior high. So it's almost like you have to kind of like take a bet, place a bet on who you think is going to win. And the reality is most of them aren't going to get to that level.
Let me give the people at home listening, this on me.
Yeah.
This is financial advice. Bitcoin is at the half point mark of their all-time high. Okay? The all-time high was about 60,000.
Yeah.
It's at 31.
69. I think it's 69.
There's institutional money on the ground right now that is about to pump into Bitcoin. You may not be able to afford an entire Bitcoin, but you could buy a portion. Why buying a portion is important? If you have 10% of one coin,
Yeah.
that's $3,000.
Yeah.
When that Bitcoin reaches a valuation, which the estimate is about 100,000,
Yeah.
your 3,000 investment will now be valued at 10,000, which means you would have seen $7,000 worth of profit.
Definitely.
In a couple of years, it is estimated that one Bitcoin, because it's hard money, it's finite and it's a very small supply, and the halving is next year.
Yeah.
It is estimated that within 2 bull run cycles, we may be seeing $1 million Bitcoin. That is not calculating. That's very moderate and conservative, because you're not calculating for the money printer being on and what state the economy of the world is in.
That is true.
Right? So now you have 10%. You came in at $3,000. You have 10% of a Bitcoin that's worth $1 million. Then you took $3,000 to 100,000.
Yeah.
To me, that's a win.
Yeah, it is.
For me personally, and I'll say this, I took every meaningless thing that I spend money on, subscribe to,
Yeah.
and I have started dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. Not Ethereum, not all this other stuff, but Bitcoin. So my play is, okay, I was at 10,
Yeah.
now I'm at 30. I will be at 50 at some point.
Yeah.
And I want a piece. I want a whole hog
Yeah.
for myself to enjoy, but because I'm 38.
Yeah.
By the time I hit 40, 42, I have $1 million Bitcoin.
That's true.
Who could talk to me then?
That is true.
Oh,
Like, I would say, trying to get a full Bitcoin is definitely the way, because even though it's trading at like 30s now, I could definitely see Bitcoin hitting 100K. Like, it's only a matter of like when.
what Kobe used to say? Easy money. Easy money.
I definitely see it hitting 100K in the future. Now the only question is when. You have the halving, then even after that, once it stops, it's going to be demand for it, and it's going to be a limited supply. So it's going to push the price up.
The problem is this. If you let the billionaires come and buy out all the Bitcoin, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is like property. You don't get rid of it. You leverage it.
Yeah.
So the point of me having a 50% stake in one Bitcoin isn't the fact that, hey, I won $500,000 and I could cash it out and I could sell it.
Yeah.
No, I am going to leverage that commodity and get a loan from a bank, because that's what Bitcoin will be.
Yeah.
It's going to be an asset that you're going to be able to use.
I think that's definitely going to start looking at that.
Now, I don't want to give my Bitcoin to be in the custody of some rando, but at least I'll be able to have that as a mechanism, as an asset against my net worth.
Yeah.
And that's going to allow me to have access to some money that I could use in whatever way, shape, or form. If you're going to invest in cryptocurrency, and this is financial advice, don't fall for the traps, don't fall for the schemes. They will always, and this happens in Wall Street and banks everywhere. They always try to get you to reinvest in them. Take the money, take your profit, shave off something, get your initial back, and use the profit in the real world. Fuck the metaverse.
Pay BPL.
Buy something to make money. You put money to work for you. Get a piece of property. Go into something and do an Airbnb with a relative or someone that you trust or something like that. Buy real things. Invest in things that make you money. Passive streams of income.
That's true. That's what you got to do.
I lie?
You don't lie.
I never lie. You're supposed to say never lie. Are you Bahamian? Like, what are you doing? But I don't want to talk about Ripple and the SEC all day.
Yeah.
There are some things that are going on with our neighbors to the north. You know?
You mean keeping up with the politics?
So
RFK for president. That's all I know.
cocaine in the West Wing. Who cocaine in the West?
They're trying to blame Hyundai.
I don't know who they were trying to blame, but apparently the investigation is done and or they did away with it. How do you find cocaine in the West Wing and you do nothing?
First of all, who's surprised that cocaine is in the White House? Like, I mean, me personally, I thought that was a normal occurrence.
What?
I just thought, doing something at that level just as be,
This is the home of the leader of the free world, okay? Economies are decided there. Like, we wage war in the West Wing. And then a funny thing with the investigation, there were no cameras to see who cocaine it was. I've been to the White House.
Well,
I've been inside the White House.
I've never been.
Okay? There's a camera in the bathroom.
Oh, and then that's...
And I'm exaggerating that aspect, but they have cameras absolutely everywhere.
I mean, really, realistically, I would assume they do have cameras in the bathroom.
So the fact that you're telling me that you, in 2023,
could find cocaine.
You could find cocaine in the West Wing, where they wage wars and do all these crazy stuff. Like, I talking about high classified stuff.
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't trace who cocaine that was?
Some people can't even smuggle cocaine in the strip club.
And the fact of the matter that you can't trace or you're unwilling to tell us whose cocaine that was, we know who cocaine that was.
Well, like I said, he's a wild boy, boy.
That's all you can say. He's a wild boy. Yeah. He is an absolute degenerate. He's almost, I would say he's a disappointment to his father, but his father is a disappointment.
He living his best life, bro. Like,
I just wish there was more fairness in the political landscape, because when you think about America and the way that they present themselves as this vehicle for freedom and liberty, and you're watching it burn in real time.
Yeah.
You see a fragile old man trying to lead the free world and saying that he's going to run again. He barely could communicate, barely could stand up, barely could take direction.
There are concerns.
There are concerns.
There are a lot of concerns regarding like the leadership of that country, and
he just needs to retire.
Even though like we live in the Bahamas, and sometimes I don't really keep up with the politics, the reality is what they do does impact us.
Greatly affects us.
Like
greatly.
We're almost like a state. How close we are, how connected.
No, that's not. Hey.
How connected our economies are.
Is the capital Bahamas? This is an independent country for 50 years. Yes, they affect us, but we are not them. I don't want to ever hear you say that again.
Our cultures are definitely different. Like,
don't say we're a state. No, I don't want to be associated with America right now. They're burning. They are supporting pedophiles and all this other stuff. On that run. Like,
so that's why I said we have totally different cultures.
Like, but the political landscape, you're persecuting your biggest rival.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're doing with Trump right now. But you could call it whatever you want. You're trying to get rid of your biggest adversary.
Yeah.
You don't want to accept the challenge from within your own party. You're running from him. There's never been any time where you have primaries coming up and you're not doing public debates.
Oh, no, they'll chew him up. They're like,
are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
Do you not want to stand on your record?
No, but they'll chew him up, bro.
That means your graphics on jobs, unemployment, all that stuff is fluff and fake, because when you see those up, they intentionally put Clinton, Bush, Obama, and then Biden, like this big stroke way up there. And they put Trump all the way down there, like a negative. And I'm like, Trump had one of the best economies that was impacted by COVID. COVID is what ruined America's economy.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that he was doing.
Yeah, they basically try to put all that blame on him, and basically, but realistically, that was a global pandemic. Like, I don't think
global pandemic.
I don't.
He had nothing to do with it. Everybody had to pretty much fall in line, and everybody's economies went to shit.
Yeah.
Not everybody rebounded the way that they did. And then everybody had to fight off inflation, and inflation was transitory, and inflation wasn't real. And then we have the high interest rates that we have, and now it's slowly coming down, and the world is kind of getting back to normal a bit.
Yeah, a bit.
And now he wants to run again. Like, he is not an Alzheimer's.
I'm not gonna comment on Joe Biden, but I'm not-
Listen.
I do not have confidence.
Listen to me. I will come to your country on my police record and leave. I don't need America. I love you guys. I want you to do the best. I want you to succeed. I want you to have great leadership. I want you to be the leader of the free world. But y'all need to get y'all shit together. Okay? Like, seriously. Like, you have a very minuscule minority screaming for change against common sense.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense. And this is nothing against LGBTQ or whatever the case be. Love is love. If you want to get married, great. Bomb.
if you speak any type of common sense, you're something phobic. Like, it's crazy.
Your rights should not trump, and I use that word intentionally. Your rights should not trump the rights of another person.
Facts.
Okay? Your opinion doesn't rewrite reality.
Facts.
There are certain hard facts. There are certain hard things that you just can't break just because you came up with it and you made up some bullshit and a couple people will say, good for you. And I think affirming and being empathetic or sympathetic and saying, you know what, I respect you, kind of went to their heads.
Yeah.
Because we respect people or we sympathize and empathize, we didn't call them stupid or say you're sick in the head and maybe you should check it out. They can't even be challenged by psychiatrists.
But the reality is, bullying kind of works, Like,
I would never co-sign that because people could be fucking horrible, bro. I would never co-sign bullying.
a little bullying is good. A little bullying. I'm not saying absolutely like ruin someone's life, but a little bullying, get you in line and let you understand.
No,
hey.
it's not bullying because I think bullying is when you go out of your way to make someone else miserable.
Yeah.
I think being brutally honest to help somebody, calling someone stupid when they say something stupid. I think checking them to say, this is not flattering for you. Maybe you should try something else.
Yeah.
Being real. Yeah. I think being real.
Yeah, that's a lost art.
We need to bring that back.
Definitely.
We need to check some boxes because this is insane. And I'm glad people are realizing their power. Because the normal folk are saying, hey, if corporate America or corporate whoever wants to go along on this batshit crazy boat, we won't support you. Yeah. So you had your Bud Light having a crazy impact on their prices.
Yeah.
I know people who wouldn't touch Bud Light.
That was insane.
If it was free.
Because I was like, hold on, like...
Alcoholics wouldn't touch Bud Light if it was free.
I'm like... Y'all really thought that was gonna work, like,
and then you had Target that followed up like Hold My Bear. They had a whole section for toddlers, pride toddlers. That made no sense.
Wait,
people can't see the forest from the trees. They can't see what the setup is. For me, it's this: OG gays, OG lesbians. I love and respect you. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yeah. Whatever you want to do, that's when I support you. Good for you. You have assimilated in society, and they stand on this side of the fence and says, that shit right there, that's crazy.
So you don't support the other 34 genders and all the rest of that?
Fuck no. No. There are only two genders. One time, if you happen to transition, you cut your balls off or you turn your vagina into a dick. Christ. Yes, you transition. You're a transgendered. Yeah. You're not a woman, you're not a man. Yeah. You're a trans man, trans whatever. Yeah. And you have a certain amount of rights. You have universal, fundamental human rights. Yeah. But you have put yourself in a niche box and certain things are not for you anymore. So if you're a grown man that failed and didn't, make it in the sports world, you do not have a right to identify
as a woman and compete.
That should be a no-no.
They breaking records, bro.
And it's so dumb. Someone actually went to, I don't know if it was Congress or if it was a Senate. I don't know if it was local or federal.
Yeah.
They actually went and literally said, the question was, if Mike Tyson, bad man Mike Tyson, wanted to identify as a woman, should he be allowed, after doing the testosterone drain or whatever it is that they do, should he be allowed to compete against other female boxers?
Yeah, that's a tempting
and this man, listen to me, this grown-ass man with all his gray hair should have common sense. Look at the man and said, absolutely. And I was like, do you know who Mike Tyson is?
But
Did he not just put on a clinic in an airplane for someone who was talking smack to him at almost 60 years old and break this man's nose?
Bro, professional boxers were scared to fight Mike Tyson.
Bro, he was training somebody and he stepped into spar with this coach.
Yeah.
And the fear on this man's eyes when Mike tried to like hit him was like so real. It was like so legit.
Bro, let me tell you.
These people are insane.
Yeah.
And I think I have never, if you asked me 7 to 10 years ago what my politics was, I would have said Democrat, I would have said liberal.
Yeah.
I am very conservative now. And I don't know if it's because I have 2 little girls.
Yeah.
Or it's because I have common fucking sense. Because they're so wacky.
Like the thing is, right? Politics is so difficult for me because it's like I understand both sides, but I can understand where that side tripping and I understand where that side tripping. Like conservatives, like, all right, y'all really got to stop imposing everything on people's lives. Then liberals, like, y'all got to stop imposing everything on people's lives.
No, it's you're stuck within a war. So you have one side, the conservative, who has the political capital and power. Yeah. And then is on the other side, you have the liberals who have the media power. Yeah. And they present a skewed reality. Yeah. The way that you would think there's a gay person everywhere. Yeah. But when you take the statistics, they're a minority. And here's the thing. I personally have nothing against gay people. I don't give a fuck. No. It's like Andrew Tate. You want to be gay? Good. You want to get married? Sure. You can't force a rabbi or a Christian pastor to marry you. Yeah. Just like I was against when some gay couple, this woman had like the best cakes in her city or county or whatever. And they asked her to make it for a wedding cake for them. And she said, I am sorry, but my religious views won't allow me to make this cake for you. I could recommend someone that would, and it's be great. Yeah. No, I want your cake. And because she refused, they sued her and put her out of business. And that's wrong.
That's sad. Because it's like...
No, that's not sad. That's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong. It's definitely wrong.
And that's the bullshit that they do that causes people not to want to fuck with them. And it's not... Again, I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're a lesbian. I don't care if you're transgender. My thing is this. Your rights should not trump everybody else's right. Definitely. You should have fundamental human rights. You should understand that there are consequences for your actions, just like everybody else, and leave the fucking children alone. Yeah. Pride Month. Why the fuck y'all have a Pride Month? Like, what is there to fucking celebrate? You fucking somebody?
Oh, God.
Like, you could fuck somebody in your room, bro. Like, no, I don't need to see that shit. Oh, well, we've been seeing heterosexual interaction for centuries because it's fucking normal. like you don't see me fucking like I don't want to laugh because I'm a married man, right? You don't see me walking in the food store swinging hands with my wife. Yeah, baby, mwah. Like no, it's like just fucking chill, bro. Yeah, like it used to be like, oh, this boy's so flamboyant. Like you're cutting yourself out of the job market because your pronouns are they and them. No one can fucking hire y'all. No one can hire y'all. You know why no one can hire y'all?
Hire they them?
No.
Why
absolutely not.
Hire they them way?
Because you won't fit into my work environment. I will have to walk around you. I probably have to cater to your emotional like fucking tantrums and shit. I don't have time for that shit. Yeah. I'm too old for this fuck. Do I have sympathy for you? Of course. But if you want to be in my space and exist as you are, you have to be prepared to be challenged. Yeah. And you know what? Let me say this to you. if any of the LGBTQ, and I know a few of them, and I respect the hell of them, I respect their minds.
Yeah.
If any of the transgender activists want to come on the podcast, sure, you're welcome. But guess what? When you come on here, you got to realize this is my fucking shit. I could tell you what it is.
Yeah.
And I probably could cause you to sit and reflect because no one told you. No one asked you.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced with your bullshit.
Yeah. I understand that.
So that's an open invitation.
I understand.
I don't want to dive into that debauchery because it just don't make sense and it's exhausting. And every single time I see someone that I didn't agree with years ago making common sense arguments, I'm like, fuck. You have allied enemies against you.
Yeah.
Just doing pure shit, like Sound of Freedom, right?
Yeah.
A true story about how a cop investigated like this child pedophilia ring, and it was bigger, it was like global and all this other stuff. And the movie is beautifully done. Like, it's a great movie, great film, right? It is being attacked. Like a message like that, protect children against sex trafficking. Like, how can you not agree with that?
That's supposed to be standard. That's supposed to be universal.
But they're being attacked in the media. Mainstream media are having people coming on doing prime time and talking about how this is a fucking conspiracy. Actual statistics back it up. This is a legitimate true story. This is a victim
Yeah.
allowing someone to have creative license to tell their story to help somebody else not fall prey to this darkness.
Because a lot of that does go on, like between like those corporations, those like,
And
those
you're
people at the top.
labeling it as a QAnon conspiracy? Like that don't make sense. And those are the triggering things.
Yeah.
The other day, right? You see what they did with your boy. You see what they did to Tate, right?
Yeah.
Tate is a rapist. He's a human trafficker. He's a piece of shit misogynist, even though they don't know what misogyny fucking mean. Then, okay, he's been that for a year and a half. Then, the BBC. Someone trying to groom somebody. Protect the groomer. He ain't gonna put out his name, nothing. His name finally come out. Oh, you must be having one hell of a day. How's your mental health? Do you want to kill yourself? What the fuck? You were trying to groom a minor.
Yeah.
You got caught bribing a
I
minor.
need to have no empathy for you. Like, no empathy. I had a conversation with some coworkers, and I was like, the reality is, I don't think everybody deserves our empathy and sympathy.
They don't.
I don't feel sorry for everybody when something bad happens to them. It's like, I have to save it for the people who it matters for.
My whole thing is this. I don't believe, like, I hate the Me Too movement.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I hate the Me Too movement because it has polluted the water for actual victims.
Yeah.
I believe rape is one of the worst things you could do to a person. Right?
Definitely, I think.
So I empathize with the real victims.
Yeah.
What the Me Too movement has done is glorified bullshit and has made it harder for real victims to be believed because you have people faking this bullshit.
That's like
A bunch of them.
like in a recent event, like the Carly Russell situation where I have to read up totally on it, but they're saying like she faked being kidnapped.
Bro, they put me on game last night about what Carly was up to, and I saw it and I was like, oh, please let this girl be okay. But it seems like she was trying to put herself through something to sell a story to be relevant. But that sounds like some random woman shit.
And some people, they don't want to take like accountability for it, right? Like they just want to be like, oh, well,
It's the wine.
whatever. But my personal opinion is like you said, that kind of makes it so people don't believe the next victim as much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm glad it got media attention and all that, but when you do stuff, when you fake things, like Jussie Smollett.
She's a female of Jussie Smollett.
Like when you do stuff like that, it makes it harder to believe the next person.
Yeah.
And it's like, some people are like, it's always going to be that little skepticism. When it happens again, some people are going to think back to what you did, you know, and, you know, I want everybody to be safe and all that, but that's, like you say, it's muddying the waters. You make it harder for the next person. for the actual victims in this.
I don't fuck with the Me Too movement. You would think that because I have 2 female daughters and I'm a decent human being, you would think I would want to be labeled a feminist, but I don't even want to be labeled a feminist. I just want to I'm a utilitarian, right? I do what's right for the most amount of people. And I think feminism and the Me Too movement needs to be checked. I think feminism is a cannibalistic. I think they're cannibalistic. I think they're destroying themselves because here's the vicious cycle. Let me paint a picture for you.
All right.
So
I have my own thoughts on feminism.
Feminism states that trans women are women. Feminism, not Jay.
Which feminism?
Hold on.
Different schools.
No. The feminism out there screaming pink hair, purple dye, screaming that if you don't label yourself cis man, cis woman, you are speaking violence against this whole thing, right? Cis is sissy, and I don't want anything to do with that. If you don't be, I am a man. You're a woman. You're transgendered, and if you don't want to be your vagina labeled or your dick labeled, and you're binary or non-binary, that's good for you. Whatever. I will address you as you introduce yourself to me. If you want to be Mr. Tom, Mr. Dick, Mr. Larry, I will call you Mr. Tom, Mr. Dick, Mr. Larry. It doesn't matter to me.
They, them. So if someone say I want to be addressed, they, them, you like
Then address me as fuck off. Mr. Fuck off. Yes, address me as that. But no, I think feminism states that trans women are women, right? And they should be allowed in women's spaces. But what they're really saying is you're allowing anybody, any man that thinks is sick in the head, that thinks he is a woman, he should have access to your space, not knowing what his temperament is, what his true agenda is. He should be allowed in your space. So when you see his doggy, you shouldn't have a fucking problem. They had a teenage boy rape a girl in the restroom at her high school in the female fucking restroom. They push it under the rug and transfer the student out because it happened during Pride Month. But these little incidents don't flaw the plan, because if it was a mental health issue, gender dysphoria back in the day, what make you think it ain't a mental health issue now? You can't, if you was to say, if you just say today, and this is just hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
If you tell me you want to be a woman, I can ask you.
Latoya.
Fuck off. See, you have this name too. You have this name ready. I don't want to know. So I would say, what makes you think you want to be a woman? What's going on? Right? But even if you're a therapist and you try to do that, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You can't challenge somebody to try and help them.
That's phobia. That's some sort of phobia.
What? And then the thing about it is, you think people should just roll on the ground to roll out this red carpet for you to come out so you could be put on this pedestal. You've been a grown-ass man for 40, 50 years. Your parents still alive. And you want them to affirm you as a woman?
The birth certificate say M.
And then someone was like, oh, but Jay, what if one of your daughters want to be a boy? They don't. My daughter loves dresses right now, and I'm celebrating that. She wants stuff that spins, and she's good. And you know my daughter got pissed off at transgender one of these days.
Oh Lord.
Because she is in the stage where she goes up to people and be like, is that a boy or a girl?
Bro.
And I could tell her the truth.
Bro.
So if you think that you look all fly and you don't get your shit together and you gotta go back and try have some more surgeries, don't come around my little girl, because she can tell you's a fucking man.
But they did, kids need some level of exposure, but not too much. I remember
kids don't need any exposure, because that's what Disney trying to do now.
I remember one time I traveled with my dad when I was a kid, right? And we was in the airport, and I saw 2 men kissing. I told my dad, I said, Daddy, them 2 men kissing. Because I never saw that before. I was a young boy, grew up in the Bahamas. I never saw that before. And my dad was like, yeah, Lamont, some men do that, right?
Okay.
And like in my head, it was like,
no, that's cool.
yeah.
How your dad handled it, that was cool.
Yeah, he just like, some men do that. That's
Did he say dying for you? Did he reinforce that you were supposed to do that?
He just said some men do it.
No, see, your daddy do the halfway job. Some men do that, but that ain't for you. That should be the complete sentence.
I just was like, as a kid, I never saw something like that before in my life. Like, not on TV, not nowhere, no.
But you seen him on TV because that's a part of the thing I'm standing on. And I don't know if I could ever be on Netflix because I don't know if it don't fit my story. I ain't gonna put it in there. Sorry.
Like, I try,
I don't believe in affirmative action. I believe on merit.
I don't have a problem with gay people at all, right?
No, we don't. We
But
don't.
I just have a problem. Like that whole trans women are women?
Yeah.
Fuck out, y'all. Like, no. Like,
Trans women are trans women. If we can
Like,
leave
no,
it like that,
no.
I think this would be a non-issue.
Yeah.
And I agree with Tate. Tate said, listen, I think at this point, it's just trying to get the most effect out of outrage because love is love. Sure, love who you want. That's fine. That's cool. Great. I want to get married. Okay, cool. Just don't deal with the church and let it be a civil union and you have the right to turn over assets when you die. That's cool. You could get divorced like us, be miserable like us. That's fine. Great. Or I want to wave my dick in church face. Absolutely fucking not. Like what? What is the point of drag reading to children?
I don't know.
Anybody?
No.
Anybody?
That whole drag around kids and all that. Like, first of all, I wouldn't want a female stripper around my kids. It's like, oh,
thank you. See?
So it's like,
now you see the equality, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just bashing.
it's like,
Strippers?
I don't even want that. I don't want it.
Is
My
the stripper
kids,
clothed or is she in costume? Because how do you know she's a stripper?
she's just a dancer.
How do you know she's a stripper? Is she is it like Black China reading to children, or is it like she's on a pole like twirling around trying to read Red Riding Hood?
That's confuddled my mind. But I don't have a problem with strippers, but I'm just like, you can't be exposing kids to that so early. Like,
Yeah.
you can't be
Let kids be kids. Let them imagine. Let them grow. Let them be introduced to the woes of the world when they are ready to become an adult.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think you should have them too naive. You should still have conversation with your kids and show certain things. Like I said, your daddy did it halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some men do that,
Yeah.
but that ain't for you. I don't want you to be that type of man. Okay, you follow mine. And it goes back to taking control and ownership of your kids, because this whole narrative that kids belong to the state. Oh, these are our children. We have to take care of them. No. You don't fuck for them. You don't push them out.
Facts. You don't feed
You
them.
don't feed them. My children will go to government school. You don't taking care of them. You don't deal with no shitty diapers. No, none of that shit. They mine.
Yeah.
So let me indoctrinate them. And even I don't even believe in indoctrinating kids. I will answer your questions. I will help guide you. And whatever you want to do, like based on the information that I give you, go along with it. But definitely guide you to that shit.
Facts.
Just makes sense.
That's facts.
That's all. The society is on fire.
Yeah, it is.
It's burning. And we need leadership that's going to come in on day one and say, you know what? This is order. This is common sense.
The thing is,
And these are going to be the repercussions.
when I really sit back and think of it, right? I think people with common sense outweigh the people that's like just crazy now.
They
right?
do.
But I think the people who are crazy is just that they make the most noise.
And they have the attention of the people. See, okay. I think deeper. Okay. I think all of this is a distraction. I think this is another divider. Mm-hmm. So you have class, money, race, right? Now you have sexual orientation, and then you had sexual orientation. Then you have this gender ideology.
Yeah.
And after there's going to be pedophilia, child, human, adult love, or something like that. it divides the populace from what's really going on. It divides the populace from the money grabs. It divides the populace and dumbs them down to the point where they could be easily controlled, easily manipulated, right? And you could say this is a conspiracy. It is whatever. You could say whatever you want, but it is what it is. It's just real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just real.
Okay.
But anyway, I mean,
No, I heard a funny joke the other day on Twitter.
make me laugh.
It ain't like it isn't like a joke, right? But someone said, if you look at the term LGBT plus or whatever, right? That the first 3 letters basically indicate that there are only 2 genders.
Yes.
And so they was like, that 3 letters contradicts kind of like the rest of what they were trying to add, like the whole GD plus Amazon Prime whole situation. Like,
So the movement is contradictory to, okay. But I mean, but they ain't gonna admit that.
and if you bring it up, you're something phobic.
I could be everything phobic. I don't care. I'm done with not speaking my mind.
Yeah.
I am done with being afraid to share common sense. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this particular podcast, because people need to share ideas. People need to have conversation. And if you possibly could come on here and change my mind, who knows? I doubt it very highly.
You just got to bring something factual that would make sense. You can't just bring emotions to a fact.
And all of it is emotions. All of it is stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I know it's stupid shit. You know it's stupid shit. And deep down, they know it's stupid shit. But it gets them attention and it makes them feel important.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel valued in some way, shape, or form. And that's okay. But for me, I think I just draw a line in the sand and be like, there are certain things that you should be left alone. And I think family and kids should be left alone.
Yeah.
If you want to, like I say, mutilate your body and try to appropriate another gender, put yourself at risk. But start say y'all dying even when y'all change.
Wow.
No one telling y'all the truth. I saw the documentary, What is a Woman? Matt Walsh.
I didn't watch that. Like,
Bro, the outrage from people that's supposed to have intelligence, the corruption from those that's supposed to be protecting children, and they're just on this fast track to get the age of consent so low so that they can do their surgeries and they can fuddle their drugs and all this other stuff. If a child is not old enough to go into the army, vote, drive, have sex, or drink, how is it that they're old enough to give consent for a
hormone placement.
unreversible sex change?
That shit is wild, bro. Like, that shit is wild.
Just think about that for a second. They could do nothing else,
That shit is wild.
but they could give consent for something that's going to change their lives and has, in a way, a sexual orientation attachment, which shows me that this right here is just the alley-oop for LeBron James style dunk, which is called adult child love. That's all I can say about that. Protect your children, keep them home, don't let them deal with none of this darkness, and we call it a day. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this particular episode? This wasn't been deep. We gone from crypto to pedophile. No, that's it. Crypto, we don't. No, I can't even say that because I'm weirdos in crypto.
Yeah, you have. That's why they call it degens. It's degenerates. But.
Oh, speaking of that, before we close, I did want to have a section on meme coins.
Yeah.
Is the meme coin season over? Is it done?
Oh man, I don't think so.
Why?
I
Pepe
think,
is flat. Pepe 2.0 is done. Pepe Eno is trying to do something.
I think we could just find something else, bro. Like, I think that's just the way, beasts in crypto. Like, it might not be as popular or it might not grow to be as valuable as like the other coins, but I think it's going to be something else that everyone on Twitter is talking about and everyone just runs to buy without even knowing what the hell it is or what it does. I think that's kind of like the nature of it. And like you mentioned, I think you mentioned in the last podcast, that's where CZ is going to, pick up a lot of money there. That along with like decentralized exchanges and all that. But I think as far as like what happened with SHIB and Dogecoin and all that, I don't know if it's going to reach that level. But I think it's going to still be meme coins out there.
So you think meme coins are a part of the crypto space?
I think so.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, overall, I would say it's a net bad. It's a net bad.
Why?
Because you would say like investing is a zero-sum game, right? But the reality is the people who are going to get rich from it is going to be far and few compared to the people who actually lose money. And along with that, it's going to be like a reputational damage along with it. You see? So even though you're going to have some people who make money, it's like, it's not going to outweigh the people who lost. And it's going to be other things like scams and all that attached to it that's going to put like a further blemish. But I think it's here. I don't think it's going to go away no time soon. But a lot of that comes with just like education, people just being more educated about cryptos. Because you got people who would see in the news or hear on social media about a crypto pumping. They don't know nothing about crypto, but they want to jump and buy this meme coin. And they lose a buy. So,
FOMO.
Exactly, FOMO. And I was working out the other day and the guy I was working out with, he talked about FOMO. And I was like, FOMO, in my opinion, before you even learn how to invest, you need to learn about FOMO, in my opinion, because that's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Like, you need to understand where that comes from. And whenever you think about buying crypto, like sometimes when I buy crypto, I know I am FOMOing. Like, I know FOMO got me, but I try to do at least some level of due diligence before I go in.
Oh, no. Well, I think there's a difference between FOMO and aping, right?
Yeah.
I think when you FOMO in, you have a general idea of what's happening. I think you're trying to get in on that green candle in hopes of, well, I know I missed a 10x, but maybe I could get that 5x. Yeah. Right? So you're hoping that the green continues as opposed to just aping in like, oh, boy, there's a new project. This have like 7 zeros. This have this particular this logo look real good, and they say they go on this
Jake Paul talk about it, Logan Paul talk about it.
Wait, damn nigga's rich, so I going all in. No,
that's it.
It don't work like that.
That's it.
And I used to think it worked like that, and taking some L's, and being around in the echo chambers. And one thing I will say and this is actual advice. I don't. If you could sum it up as financial advice, when you do your own diligence, do it independent of going in the echo chambers. And when I call the echo chambers, is those telegrams, Discord, for that specific project.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're going to be influenced by the dev team. You're going to be influenced by people who put in $20 hoping this hit like 1,000x or whatever, and they be like, pump it, hold hands and diamond hands and all that shit.
Yeah.
Do what I do. Stay out. Look at the charts every so often, however you want, how often you want. Have your entry point.
Yeah.
Have your pull out some initial. Have your take profit point. And if it take too long before you lose your money, take it fucking out.
Yeah.
And put it someplace else.
That's true.
It is your money.
That's true.
Do what you want to do with it.
Yeah, like...
You're not beholden to anybody.
Yeah, like definitely you have to, like you say, don't be in that echo chamber. You have to get different point of views. But I think a part of that too is when you're in that echo chamber, when you're in a Telegram group of 50,000 people, there's some sort of comfort when you're in a group. Yeah. Even if you don't know if it's going to go good or bad, people find comfort in community. So it's like...
I have nothing against community. I have something against people manipulating their communities and then not serving their community.
Yeah, because a lot of these devs behind the scenes, they'll say something in the group chat or in the Telegram group, but the reality is they're having totally different conversations in the private messages.
Yeah,
you see, so that's something what you have to consider.
You have to know that. I mean, it's. But the one advice that I would give you, if you get into crypto and you make some money, take the money out and spend it in the real world. Spend it on something that you would enjoy. Spend it on something that will bring you more money. Do not give it back to another crypto project. Don't ever do that. Take the 10 grand and run.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, this has been another full Gambit podcast. Like I said, we're in our new home at Freedom Studios. I think this is the beginning of something very beautiful. I can't chase with this. This is just a chunk.